Hey, here we are again on a great and wonderful day. Nice and drizzly out, early in the morning, taking that drive, trying to be safe, enjoying myself. Got my holy scriptures here, praying for the good Lord to keep us safe in our travels. Good Lord Jehovah in heaven, keep us safe as we travel these highways and keep everybody else safe as well. That's always a good thing, right? We want to do that. So, yeah, another rainy, drizzly day. It rained pretty good through the night, but it always seems like it never really got things saturated or wet. It seemed like we could use more for some reason. I don't know why, but that's how it seems. I was on the App Store one day and I seen where you can download some dash cams and different stuff on your iPhone and use it for a dash cam. I've never tried that to see if it works or not. I don't know if you can record stuff when you do that and make yourself a video through that. Then you could have maybe some highway footage too. I don't know. Might be interesting. Might be interesting. Well, what will I do today? Well, today we're going to have some family over and we're going to have some festivities happening, I say. So, hopefully I'll go home and get a little rest and all that festival stuff gets started. I'll be all happy and smiling and won't nobody irritate me and make me feel grouchy, huh? I don't want to get grouchy and bark at people like that, right? Oh, man. People who entertain. It's like, I'm going to get me a big kitchen. I'm going to have me a big living room so I can entertain people. I want a pool. I want these grills. Wait a minute. How much entertaining have you done? That's my question. Because it seems to me, I don't know what crowd you're hanging out with, but anytime I'd got into any entertaining and stuff, by the time the guests left, the place was wrecked, man. A cyclone went through it and it was trashed. And it's like, holy mackerel, huh? It's a disaster. And it's like, wow, you know. Don't look nothing like it did when we started. It's a nice, clean place. And now look at it, huh? So, they just trashed the place, huh? So we decided, hey, let's rent a building. And you know what? It's not your building, but you still got to clean it up when it's over. And nobody sticks around to help, and they trash the place. It's crazy. So I don't understand people wanting to get all these fancy homes for entertaining people and stuff like that. They must have some special friends that respect their property and everything else. I didn't even seem to run across any of them. And these weren't just friends. They was, you know, in the family category, you know. So, well, if you knew, I wouldn't have to tell you now, would I? Oh, yeah. You know. Oh, I know you. Oh, if you like singing, do you? Yeah, sing me a song. Hey, you know what? Yeah, what? Sometimes I can sound like Julia Childs. You ever watch that cooking show, the Julia Childs Cooking? I think she's done kicked the bucket and passed away now, but how'd she talk? Oh, today we're going to be cooking some delicious French fries in this oven. Something like that. I don't know. I'd have to hear her for a minute before I could get it down, right? Unfortunately, sometimes that's how it is. I just can't do it unless I hear their voice and then it comes to me. And I can imitate them to a certain bit. But, yep, definitely a unique personality there, that's for sure. Oh, this here stuffing and gravy is really delicious. So, well, what's your favorite restaurant to eat at, huh? Oh, man, I'll tell you. I don't know. I just don't have taste like I used to. My taste ain't very good most of the time. Now, I could smell nasty stuff like dog poo and stuff like that, but I can't smell coffee hardly, and not very often, and I can't smell a good pizza or anything else, you know. But I can smell some yucky stuff. it smells bad, my nose works. If it smells good, it don't want to work. And it depends on the weather. The weather is out too. Walk today, damp and drizzly day at about 45 degrees, and it feels like I got a clothespin on my nose, and I'm talking like that. You know, crazy. I don't understand it, but that's how it is. And if I ain't careful and pay attention, next thing you know, I won't get enough oxygen going. I'll get a headache. You're like, what's a headache? Well, that's because you ain't breathing right, fool. Oh, yeah, we're sitting there barely breathing. You know, and it's like, dude, you got to remember to breathe, right? It's supposed to come natural. Well, sometimes due to certain little viruses I ain't going to mention no names of, sometimes I wonder if it don't work on your ability to function normally through, you know, the good Lord's setup where just breathing comes automatic and unless it's damaged and everything like that. So I don't know. There's all kinds of questions you can ask, eh? I'll ask 1,001 questions, mate. You could. You certainly could. So I had a bunch of stuff I was going to talk about. I thought, man, I got some really cool stuff. Some of the stuff I talked about in my last couple driving videos, I was going to highlight on some of that stuff with a little more detail, stuff I thought of, and it's like, what was it? I don't know. I'm back into that George state, right, from the cartoons. He's brain dead, I say. He's brain dead. Yeah, about half. But, yeah, something else. Well, a deep subject, I say. Yeah, no doubt about that, right? Oh, no, the lights is trying to get me, eh? I didn't want to get in trouble. I'm only going, I'm going about the speed limit, eh? Oh, there was something I said. Oh, I know it was about that when that state highway patrol car come over across the road and cut me off. I was watching that, and I said, and I was racing. And I said, oh, no, I'm not racing. But, you know, I was not letting any grass grow under my feet at the time. Don't know I was considering myself racing. When that other car come flying up past me like I was sitting still, and then Mr. State Highway Patrol whips across the medium strip and damn near wipes me out. But they caught him, got down the road about 3 miles, and there they had him nailed. So they pulled over, and I guess they got in trouble. But the main concern out here is watching out for them deer on the road. That's the main concern. You never know where they're going to be at. That's for sure. They get in front of you, they can do some mighty horrible damage. I had one time I was coming down the road out here, and it's a 4-lane, and I looked over across the road, and I seen this buck standing there. And if he could come straight across the road, I'm almost like, pretty much, I would say, let's see, if there's a clock straight in front of us, he would be at about 11 o'clock position, or 10 o'clock position right in there. And I seen him stand over there. Boy, I tell you, he had a rack on him. He was a monster buck. And I was in the fast lane because I went around somebody, and I had this great big old black pickup truck, and he was just sticking with me, you know, and I was going, I don't know, probably about 60 mile an hour or so in a 70 mile an hour zone. And I seen that big buck standing over there, and it looked like when I seen him, he seen me, and it looked like when he looked at my vehicle, he started to move. And I thought, what is going on with that? So I kept an eye on him, and he started trotting across the highway and coming into the medium strip. And so I thought, oh crap, that dude is going to come right out in front of me. I better get the heck down the road. So I punched into it, man. I took off as fast as I could, and as soon as I punched on that gas pedal, that big old buck, he hunkered down into the ground and dug his feet in and took off and doubled his speed coming across there. And he was heading right for the front of my truck, and I could not outrun him. And I had this thing floored, and I was moving along. And he was coming to the front of my truck, and he was coming at an angle so that he could run around the front of this truck and not go behind it or nothing else. It was like he was on a suicide mission to kill himself on the front of my truck. And I realized it, and I thought, my gosh, I'm not going to be able to outrun him. So I just hit the brakes, man. And when I did, there wasn't nobody behind me, thank God. But that big old black pickup truck was getting around me at that time when I did that. And that deer passed in front of me about, I'd say a couple car, not even a car length, maybe, if that. Not even that much he got in front of me. And when he jumped up in the air, he started heading right straight into the side window right there, the driver's cab of that big black truck. And that guy was all over the road, and he swerved, and his truck, and I'd gotten way back by then, and his truck had kind of fishtailed and went a little bit sideways, and the deer missed hitting the side of the cab, and he went across the back of the truck behind the cab, and one of his back hooves hit the bed of the truck, and it put him into a somersault, and he shot straight up in the air and did somersaults, and then come down on the other side somewhere. And that guy, gravel was flying and everything, and he just about wiped that big black truck out. But he wasn't 2 seconds from wiping me out. So it was like I had some kind of mind melt with this great big old buck deer that exactly he wasn't going to do anything but try to get in front of my truck and me hit him. It was like it's set. He has to get in front of my truck so I can hit him. And it was really, really something strange, let me tell you. There's one time I was in a big hurry, and I thought, man, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for a coffee. I got to go. So I took off. I was driving truck. It's been years back. So somebody ended up plowing in the back of my truck. And I thought, man, if I'd have just had that coffee, I'd have been a lot slower and spent more time trying not to spill it, and I would have never been out here to have this accident, right? So at that point in my life, I started delaying stuff. Like if I suddenly get an urge to go do something, it's like, man, I got to get going. I'm like, whoa, no. I'm sitting down and taking a break. It's break time, and I'll sit down for a couple minutes, or I'll just suddenly decide to leave early, and then I just kind of feel it out. I don't know what you want to call it. It's some just kind of like, how you sense something's just not quite as it should be. I got that, I don't know when, where, nothing like that, but I'll get some, like, I don't know how to explain that, some hair stand up on the back of your neck or something that says, hey dude, something's not going to happen, it's not going to be good, so you better chill out, you got to change your timing. So I do that, like you come to a light and it's like, I can make it, and then you think, why do I have to make it? What's going to happen up ahead or down the road that may or may not be good? So go ahead and stop for it. So I go ahead and stop for it, but look behind you and make sure that it's a good thing to do. You're not going to get creamed. I spent a lot of time. Oh, this is a good one. That is a pretty cool miracle and a half. Me and Junior there took off and went to a gun show one time, and I've been praying, and I still do, for a shield of protection on my vehicle by the good Lord Jehovah God in heaven. May I have a shield of protection on my vehicle, and I pray for that all the time. So we go to this gun show, and we're up there, and they had a raffle. We didn't win or nothing. We didn't buy nothing. You got to have cash for that stuff, and I had no cash. So we come out to go home. We got out on the expressway, and it's raining cats and dogs, and there's a car coming, and I can make it, but for some reason I'm thinking, it's just a little bit close, and I think he's going way faster than he should in the rain. I'm not sure. And I started to go, then I changed my mind and went ahead and just stopped. Well, the guy behind us didn't stop. Boom! He nailed us, man. I'm telling you, we had sore necks and whiplash for a couple months. We was hurting pretty bad, and I still got a little bit of pain and stuff every now and then that I don't know if I attribute it to that deal or not. But so we stopped and got out and took a look at it, and there's some lady pulls up, man, there's something wrong with that guy driving, he's been weaving all over the road, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, lady, move along, I don't need you in on this. And he's standing there, and he's got a look of shock on his face. My son said he's on something, and I said, I looked at my truck, and I looked at his truck, and his truck looked like it hit a brick wall. He had a Jeep Cherokee, the Cherokee model Jeep, and it looked like he hit a brick wall. Everything was just flat on his truck like he hit a brick wall. And I said, dude, you just come from the gun show? He said, no, I just come from getting new tires. I'm like, oh, man, you really did a number on the front of your truck, man. It is flat like a pancake. And, of course, this one, is plastic and all that kind of stuff, and it has a bumper hitch on it. And I started looking at my truck. My son says, oh, my gosh, you cracked that or scratched that. And I said, no, that was already there. I got hit in the rear end, and we got shoved pretty good where we both had some pain and suffering in the neck for a while. But my truck did not have a scratch on it, not one new scratch in the plastic or nothing. And his truck his whole bumper, it looked like he hit a brick wall. I swear to God, on my life, his whole front of his truck was just wiped. And he was like sitting there with his mouth hanging open and looked all shocked. My son says he's on something. There's something wrong with that guy. I said, yeah, he's something wrong with him, all right. He just plowed into a wall of protection put there by our great Lord Jehovah God in heaven on the back of my truck, because I ain't got a scratch. And he's completely demolished, man. So anyway, he should have been paying attention, because what he was doing was looking down the road to see if he could make it too, and just follow me right on out, which that could have been a heck of a bad accident, because there wasn't much time for me to get out, let alone the guy behind me. So that could have been a heck of a bad accident. And you never know when cars are around if there's a bunch of little kids in there or what's going on. You don't want to get into any kind of accident like that, where you got any accident, period, as far as that goes. But you certainly don't want to hit a car full of little children or anything. I mean, you don't need that on your conscience. So that'd be a good tool for the devil to work on for the rest of your life, trying to make you feel guilty about something like that, so he can take you down, depress you all the time. That them evil dudes of guilt that try to work on you and bring up your past and stuff all the time, trying to take you down and trying to get in your way so you can't get up and walk towards Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's what they do. So yeah, they're good at it too, buddy. Real good at it. That's why you gotta, how your mind is like a Rolodex sometimes, or something of that nature. I had a guy describe their mind like that, where thoughts keep rolling over. Oh, I know a good one. It's the one where a song gets stuck in your head, or a beat gets stuck in your head, and your brain locks into that beat, or it locks into that song, or it just keeps repeating. You can't control it. It's like, what is wrong with me? This song is just playing in my head, Dun 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 dun, and he can't get it to quit, and it just keeps doing it. Sometimes it can get stronger and stronger, and it's like, man, I just can't hardly stand this anymore. Got that stupid song stuck in my head. I can't take it. How you gonna get rid of it? I'm just gonna drink me a bunch of liquor and get drunk. I'll drown it out. That ain't no good. That's bad news. That ain't a good thing to do. What you got to do is you got to retrain your brain. Retrain your brain. That's what I worked on. I said, if your mind's going to start getting repetitive on stuff, let it repeat the Lord's Prayer. How about that? Huh? Get that rolled in there, and every time you bring that Lord's Prayer out, and just let it keep saying it over and over and over and over again, and it'll get cleansed and it'll be gone. Because there's some kind of something goes on there with that, and I don't know exactly what, but something odd about that kind of stuff. But I just know that just fill your mind with that. That'll help you. That's for sure. It helped me. I like it. So, but yep. What is today? Sunday. I believe it's the last day of the old deer gun season here. So, and I think they got a couple special hunting days here in January or something. And I think they got a couple days of muzzle loading. So, it'd be kind of cool to take one of them flintlock muskets out and get you a deer. But if you know me, I have enough trouble getting a deer with a regular shotgun and regular shells, let alone musket, right? I certainly ain't gonna get one with no clay ball, right? I do have some 50 caliber lead balls for the old Kentucky rifle, so you might be able to get one. You might be able to. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Yeah, who cares? Well, I care, Ed, what are you caring for? Hey, well, ain't got nothing else to do, right? You might as well care, take some interest. You never know what you're going to like until you do it. You're always putting off stuff. It's like, I ain't going to do that. Why don't you do it? I don't feel like it. Well, by God, sometimes you just got to get up and go do it. And that's fun when you get into it. Try to find some fun to get into. What are you going to do today? Well, I don't know. Plan a day, right? It seems like every time you get a bunch of good stuff planned and you're having a good time, there's always something starts coming down and sucking up that valuable time that you got to enjoy yourself. It's like, man, am I allowed to enjoy myself without things going on, taking up my time? You know, you spend all your time working and everything, trying to make a living, paying your bills. You know, it's all you get done. No time to enjoy yourself. As you get older, you know, you just don't, I don't have a lot of energy right now. Well, that's because you stayed up. You should have got some rest. So it depends on how you sleep. And that depends on what you eat and everything else. I hate having a food hangover. Oh, man. If you know what I'm talking about, you eat a bunch of stuff and you wake up and you feel like crap. And it's like, man, you know, that's terrible. I'd like to have something good and tasty. But like I said, my taste buds there lately just all of a sudden took a hiatus on me, quit working. I can't taste much of anything. So, I don't know. Been around a lot of people getting ill, that's for sure. It's like, man, some of them's coming out of it pretty good. Seem to be making it back and recuperating, but there's some that aren't. A lot of people having a tough time, respiratory stuff and whatever. I got little struggles myself, but it comes and goes. So I suppose today, being as damp as it is, that probably ain't a good day for that kind of stuff, huh? Because it's 199% humidity out here. 199. Yep. So, hey, what you do when you drive a lot and you travel? You can sing 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. That's a long trip, huh? That's how you get down to zero. You ever tried counting sheep? That don't work for me. I tried to count them. Sat there, 1, 2, 3. Your eyes are getting heavy. You're getting real sleepy. You're right. Oh, man. I like to get real sleepy. I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to get me a nice canvas tent. That's what I like to get me. That I can set up, play my reenacting. But I don't got one. I got an aluminum one like you see at the fairs or whatever, a modern one that folds out. I got it at Rule King. I've never used it. I was going to set up somewhere and, you know, put out a trade blanket, I guess you could call it. I looked up a bunch of rendezvous and stuff like that. We have some of those around, but I never went to any of them. Just really didn't have the money to go playing around. So I just didn't go. Maybe I'll look some up next year and go to one or two. Maybe, I don't know. After that gun show trip, I'm like, I want to just crawl in a hole somewhere. Right? That sounds like a good time. I'll tell you something I ain't seen or heard hiding their hair of for a while. And that's people with their model planes and stuff. You used to be able to go to the park and you'd see people have their model planes out. And then I haven't heard or seen hiding the hair of anybody playing around with rockets anymore. They used to you could buy rocket engines and stuff like that. And shoot them up, and then they'd have a parachute that'd pop out and they'd come out and float back down to the ground. I haven't seen anybody messing with that stuff in forever. I haven't seen it even pop up anywhere. You know, you think that would have popped up on a web page or something somewhere where they're trying to target your interest. So maybe that's not a thing much anymore. People just don't do it. I don't know. It used to be fun though. Had a good time playing with that stuff. You know, you can't be too safe though when you're playing around with any kind of fireworks. Woohoo! Yeah, that's for sure. Don't want to, you know, get hurt or nothing. Gotta remember your ear protection and your eye protection. That's always good. getting a bad habit of using muskets and not wearing safety glasses and stuff. But I didn't wear them back in the day. Well, that's true, but we're a little smarter now, I'd hope. You know, you're out there messing around, put on some safety glasses just to be safe. You never know when a spark could, or a little piece of chip of flint or something could get you. You know, that's for sure. It could happen. So you probably ought to wear your safety glasses. You don't want to get injured. It's no fun. Takes the fun right out of everything. You can't be too safe out there. Try to plan your work and work your plan. That's my motto. I wish I could follow it all the time. I'd end up doing something stupid, you know. Like, you can't hold on to something because it'll twist it right out of your hand, and it might cut you too when you're trying to drill. You got a vise, man, and you can put it in a vise. Use the vise. Why are you trying to drill it and hold it with your hand? It seemed like it wouldn't be no big deal, but oh no, the bit got caught and it spun around and cut you. Yeah. Think safety, right? I mean, you could have put that in the vise and held it there, and you know, you wouldn't have to worry about it getting loose there and whacking you on the hand or something. So, and I've done some pretty dumb stunts before. If I feel like I ain't really sharp or paying attention, sometimes I'm like, well, dude, that project's gonna have to wait. I don't feel like I'm on the safety valve right now. You know, I'm a hazard to my own health here. So you have days like that. And them kind of days, you gotta reevaluate what you're doing. So you gotta teach your family and children and stuff too to be safe. It don't hurt a thing. That's for sure. They'll get the idea, and maybe they'll avoid getting injured or something, right? Hopefully we hope they don't get injured. Well, it was a nice quiet drive home. Didn't see no four-legged friends or nothing like that along the road trying to cause me issues, and no traffic and nothing like that. Just a nice sulky day. So might go downstairs and I'll go downstairs and play around with the flintlock or something. I might throw some videos up on that. But I thought I'd do just a driving video, because why not, you know? It's just like, why waste all that conversation just in thought? Why not kick it out there and put up a video, and people can watch it later and say, "Bet Ed, he was a character, that boy." We'll talk at you later. Have a great day, my friends.